You gotta feel sorry for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has been playing lights out and out of his mind, but it doesn't matter because the Bengals keep finding a way to lose over and over again. Now let me read off some stats for you. 3,028 yards, 27 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. Those are Joe Burrow's numbers for the year so far. And with numbers like that, you would expect the team to at least be above 500, right? Maybe even 7-4, 6-5, something like that. The Bengals are 4-7. They aren't even 500. And a large part of that is because the Bengals defense is god awful, even though Joe Burrow has been putting up monster numbers this year along with Jamar Chase. In the most recent game against the Chargers, Joe Burrow literally had 356 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Of course, this was on the 56% completion rate, and his passer rating was 98.4. And if you look at Daniel Jones as he's leaving this game after it was done, he looks absolutely defeated, man. I mean, I know we talked about Daniel Jones making 40 M's per year. I know Joe Burrow's making $55 million per year, but he's doing everything, man. He's laying it out on that field, and the team around him just cannot get the win. This is one of those few cases where you have one guy putting up monster numbers, and the team just cannot rally around him. And of course, team members are frustrated because of this. You look at Jamar Chase recently being asked questions by the media about the frustrations for the season, and he does not seem happy at all. Listen to it here.
I play football on the field. I don't call plays, of course, so I can't really do nothing.
You think that's part of the finishing factor is play stuff?
I don't know.
Joe Burrow himself seems like he's over it as well too. I mean, he looks like a guy who's been just putting everything on his back, doing as much as he can, and he just seems like he's just done. And I think the thing that's the most frustrating about all these games is that pretty much outside of the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, all of these games that they've lost are 1-score games. And it's crazy to see that if they had a winning record right now, Joe Burrow would be up there for potentially winning MVP this season with these type of numbers. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals do have a bye week next week. Then they go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, and the Denver Broncos to close out their seasons. So realistically, if they can pull through and get a win against the Steelers and clean out the rest of their slate, they might have a chance at making it to the playoffs, just creeping in there a little bit. But it might be game over for the Cincinnati Bengals. And quite honestly, their head coach Zach Taylor and their defensive coordinator are pretty much on the hot seat, and they may be fired if they don't make the playoffs this season. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments below. Do you think the Bengals can find a way to sneak into the playoffs, or do you think it's a wrap? Next up,